Hubris, borrowed from the Greek word hubris, which translates to arrogance, abuse, violence, and outrage. But not to be confused with authentic pride, which is characterized by words such as accomplished and confident. Hubris denotes overconfident pride combined with arrogance. It's also referred to as pride that blinds, because it often causes the hubristic to act in foolish ways that opposes common sense. The term hubris originated in ancient Greece, where it had several different meanings depending on the context. In legal usage, it meant assault or sexual crimes and theft of public property. And in religious usage, it meant emulation of divinity or transgression against a god. Welcome back to Student of the Brain, or if this is your first time visiting, welcome. My goal is to provide honest discussion on a range of topics related to psychology, the human brain, human behavior, and all things in between. Although I am not a doctor, I try my best to provide accurate information, and I've provided references below. Please enjoy the vid, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let's get started. In ancient Greek culture, hubris was considered a grave offense, particularly because it involved disrespecting the gods and overstepping human boundaries. Characters in Greek tragedies who exhibited hubris, such as Oedipus and Achilles, often faced severe consequences as a result of their excessive pride and defiance. I've always been fascinated by ancient Greek myths and stories, and I encourage you to do some research on the stories of Oedipus and Achilles, but I digress. This cultural perspective on hubris highlights the perceived danger of such and its potential to lead to one's downfall. In contemporary psychology, hubris is studied not only as a personality trait, but also in the context of leadership, politics, and organizational behavior. Modern interpretations emphasize the role of hubris in decision-making processes, interpersonal relationships, and its broader impact on society. It can be understood through various personality frameworks. It is often associated with traits such as narcissism, grandiosity, and a need for dominance. Individuals prone to hubris typically have an inflated sense of self-importance and a belief in their superiority over others. These traits can be measured using psychological assessments like the Narcissistic Personality Inventory and other tools designed to gauge self-esteem and ego involvement. The cognitive processes underlying hubris involve biased thinking patterns that reinforce an individual's inflated self-view. Common cognitive distortions include overestimation of abilities, where the hubristic tend to overestimate their skills and competencies, believing they are more capable than they actually are. Illusory superiority causes one to feel superior to others, often without objective justification. Confirmation bias, where hubristic individuals selectively gather and interpret information that supports their grandiose self-image, while dismissing evidence to the contrary. In early childhood experiences, the seeds of hubris are often sown. Parenting styles that excessively praise children or fail to set appropriate boundaries can contribute to the development of an inflated ego. Conversely, children who experience neglect or criticism may develop hubris as a compensatory mechanism to protect their self-esteem. Cultural factors also play a significant role in the development of hubris. Societies that reward individual achievement and self-promotion can inadvertently encourage hubristic tendencies. The pervasive influence of media and social platforms that glorify success and self-confidence can further exacerbate these tendencies. Hubris can manifest in various behaviors, including overconfidence in decision-making, where individuals with hubris often make decisions with excessive confidence, disregarding risks and alternative viewpoints. This also may include exhibiting controlling behaviors, seeking to dominate others in personal and professional relationships. Hubristic individuals may flout social norms and ethical guidelines, believing themselves to be above such constraints. In leadership positions, hubris can have particularly detrimental effects. Leaders with hubristic tendencies may engage in risky ventures while being overconfident and can lead to reckless decisions, jeopardizing organizational stability and success. Hubristic individuals may suppress dissent. They may discourage feedback and dissenting opinions, creating an environment where poor decisions go unchallenged. Their behavior can contribute to a toxic organizational culture characterized by fear, intimidation, and lack of collaboration. Hubris can strain interpersonal relationships, both personal and professional. The tendency to dominate and control can alienate friends, family, and colleagues. Additionally, the lack of empathy and unwillingness to accept criticism can lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. In professional settings, hubris can have significant negative outcomes, including failed projects and ventures, where overconfidence can result in poor planning and execution, leading to project failures and financial losses. It can also foster decreased team morale, where hubristic leaders can demoralize their team, reducing productivity and increasing turnover rates. Organizations led by hubristic individuals may suffer reputational harm, affecting their relationships with clients, partners, and the broader community. For the individual, hubris can ultimately lead to negative psychological outcomes. The dissonance between their inflated self-view and reality can create internal stress and anxiety. Over time, the lack of authentic relationships and meaningful connections can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Developing self-awareness is crucial in mitigating hubris. Techniques such as mindfulness and reflective practices can help individuals gain a more realistic understanding of their abilities and limitations. Encouraging regular self-assessment and seeking feedback from trusted sources can also foster a more balanced self-view. Humility, which is the antithesis of hubris, involves recognizing one's limitations and valuing the contributions of others. Cultivating humility can be achieved through practices such as regularly reflecting on and expressing gratitude to the positive aspects of others and one's environment. Historical figures provide examples of hubris and its consequences. For instance, the downfall of Napoleon Bonaparte is often attributed to his hubristic overreach, culminating in the disastrous invasion of Russia. Similarly, the collapse of the Enron Corporation in the early 2000s was largely due to the hubris of its executives, who engaged in reckless and unethical practices, believing themselves invincible. The 2008 financial crisis, for example, was partly fueled by the hubris of financial executives who engage in overly risky practices. In the tech industry, the rise and fall of companies like Theranos highlight the dangers of hubristic leadership, where overconfidence and deceit led to massive failures and legal repercussions. From a psychoanalytic perspective, hubris can be seen as a defense mechanism. Sigmund Freud's theories suggest that individuals may develop an inflated sense of self to protect against deep-seated feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. This overcompensation serves to mask underlying vulnerabilities and displays one's public persona. Social cognitive theory provides another lens through which to understand hubris. According to this theory, hubris can develop through observational learning and social reinforcement. If individuals observe and receive positive reinforcement for hubristic behaviors, they are more likely to adopt and perpetuate these behaviors. One could argue that most of us demonstrate shades of hubristic behavior in some situations. If one is willing to deflate their hubris in an effort to mend personal relationships and self-awareness, I suppose the world would be more tolerable to some. The art piece that you've witnessed illustrated in this vid is from a painting by the artist Alexander Cabanel titled The Fallen Angel. In a few of my last vids, I try to pick an illustration that represents the topic of the video. Lucifer's fall from heaven is a narrative that combines scriptural fragments, theological interpretations, and cultural influences. At its heart, the story is a powerful exploration of pride, rebellion, and the consequences of defying order. Lucifer's transformation from a being of light to the embodiment of evil serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the enduring battle between good and evil. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these types of vids, like, subscribe, and share to help grow my channel. Stay strong and healthy. Much love.